Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Oh, that happened. Huh? What on? Mm-hmm. Hello. Not anymore. Half cut okay? Yeah. This right here, yeah. It's made. They're called mood mats. They're they're like it's like a fake cork. It's like a cork board. Yep, all the time. Pile shuffle and then draw three of the same card. Yeah, I'll put back seven. Oh yeah. Hopefully, I gotta kind of look around. I don't know if the one closest to me is posting it. I asked last Sunday, and it was up in the air, and so I gotta kind of figure out which store is doing it. Draw. We'll ink a Trinabog's followers. We'll play a Daisy. I'll pass. Turn. We'll ink a Donald Duck. I'll play a Piglet. Quest for two with Daisy. And pass. Perplexing signpost. You're like the fourth person to say that. It's banish this item, return chosen character of yours to your hand. It's a set two card that nobody uses, but it's basically a two cost meta mim. Just mine. It's for like goats or Donald Ducks or like whatever I need. I will ink a mana mim snake. Play a blue and bodyguard. Quest for three, and two for Daisy. So we do the top deck. No problem. It's this third turn and pass. Yep. What's the rough one? Maleficent. Okay. How much does he do again? He's a 3/1. Okay. 2. Oh. Well, ink amount of Man Fox. Play another blue. And Daisy. Quest for 3. 3. 2 for Daisy. Alright. Pass. What does that one do again? Okay. Nope. Okay. Blue? If you kill blue, I get 2 lures, so. And then that one is the one where it goes back to my hand and then I discard it, or. Okay. Okay, John? Or, sorry, it was Sis. Okay. So I think they trade. Okay. Play Lilo. Quest for 2 with Daisy. Okay. And then pass. Oh, yeah, just not a 1. GG's. It's fast. Yeah, that's usually. I was pretty scared when I saw them. One, yeah, one of the best cards in the game right now. For singing, at least. GG's. We're on a streak, chat. We're on a streak. Hurts to shuffle, though. Let me get my energy drink. The dog's not getting it. Is it Friday? Well, of course you're not, because then you're not going to go to bed on Sunday night either. You're the worst. What are you doing? What was that? What? 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 You're just a dog. You're just a dog. What? What? Something to say? You got something to say? Fish. Sugar. Stop. Stop. Come here. Hello. Yeah. I'm gonna put back 7. Didn't do him any good, so. Alrighty. Ink a Maleficent, play a Maleficent, and pass. Are you having my drink? Mm-hmm. Off the turn. Mm. Ink a Madam Snake. Play Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom. Quest for 2 with Maleficent, and pass. Ready. Oh, buddy. Ink a Maleficent. Play a blue and Bodyguard. Quest for 2, and pass. Draw. We'll ink a Donald Duck. Play another blue and another Maleficent. Quest for 1, and then 2, 4 ink, and pass. Oh, is it? Yeah. With the daisy. 3, 5. Gather knowledge and wisdom. Have a good one. A little bit of a hot streak. What do you think, chat? We keep going? It's not even midnight. Hello. Yeah. Go back 6. All right, good luck. I'll ink a Manaman Fox. I'll play Maleficent, and I'll pass. Ink a Cogsworth. Play a Piglet. Quest for 2, and pass. Ink Chromacon. Play a Donald Duck in Bodyguard. You have +1 lore to Maleficent. Quest for 3. 3. Piglet also quest for 3. And pass. off a turn. We'll ink a piglet. I will play a Merlin goat. 1, 1, 2, 3. 2, pass. What do I need? One for Daisy. Quest for 3. 1, 2, 3. Quest for 1. Pay 2 for gathering knowledge and wisdom. GG's. You too. Man, we're fucking coming back. Woo-wee. We're coming back, chat. Woo. Oh, wee wee. Oh, woo woo. Mm, 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 mm. Did it all with a hope and a dream and a little bit of prayer and a little bit of sing. Ooh, ooh. Okay, okay, okay. We take those. Cha-ching. I said pull up. Ooh. Okay. Let's go. All right, let's go. Let's get to shuffling. That's terrible. Hi there. Good, good. Yourself? Yep. Didn't know how I've done this. I'll put back 6. I'm ready. Good luck. Draw for turn. Ink a piglet. Play a daisy duck. And pass. Draw for turn. I will ink an amethyst chromicon. Play a piglet. Quest for 2 with Daisy. That's a big one. Pass. Turn. I'll ink a piglet. I will play a blue bodyguard. Quest for 2. Yeah. There we go. Draw for turn. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna ink a Merlin Goat. I will pay one for a Daisy, one for a Maleficent, another Maleficent, and a Lilo. I will quest with blue. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And I'll quest with Daisy. After Daisy, it's there you go. Yep, that's it. Play Donald Duck. Give Lilo +1. 1, 2, 3. 2 for Daisy. They're good. 2 for the other Daisy. And 1 for blue. Oof, that does everything with 1 and under, right? Or is it 2? 2 and less. Wow, it's the whole board. 2 for. No, you're good. I get 2 for the blue. Draw for turn. I'll play an Amethyst Chromacon. We both can draw. Play Daisy Duck. And I pass. Ooh. Alright, let's see. Draw for turn. Draw for Chromacon. Couldn't get it. I mean, I can do this. I can do the gathering knowledge and wisdom, and then I also run like 4 goats, but I don't have any return cards. Let's pay 3, trigger, bow. That's it. GG's. Killed my little hot streak I had going. Mm. Breakneck victory or breakneck loss. Right. I did put all my cards out there, so. All right, man. You have a good one. GG. We'd letting them off light tonight. There's a plate. Oh baby, baby, can't you tell me? Is it all the same or am I the one we're going to blame? The one who's going to look at me. Holy bro. Hello. No problem. You're good. Yeah. Me too. I'm gonna go for 6 as well. But have fun. I will draw. We'll ink a Maleficent. We'll play a Lilo and I'll pass. We'll ink a Magic Broom. I will play a Piglet. Quest for 2 and pass. Okay. Draw. Ink a Chernobog's followers. Play a Donald Duck. +1 to her. Pass. Four. What's wrong with it? Oh. Okay. A Maleficent. Pay 3 to play a blue and bodyguard. Maleficent. Quest for 2. Yes. Is he asleep? 2. That makes me discard, right? Okay, we'll discard Madman. Okay, I discard again, right? Got the go. Draw for turn. Quest for 2. Pay 3. Bounce it back to hand. Play it. How much life does the beast have still? 3 life. What's the other one? Prince John? Does he want one? Okay, I'll trade with Prince John. Or I'll take out Prince John. And then is it 1-1? I'll pass. Off turn. Quest for 2. 2. Play a Mem Snake. Play a Maleficent. And pass. Oh. Yeesh. It just goes to my hand and then I discard it, right? got 4 in a dream. Draw for turn. Play blue and bodyguard. I'll quest for 1 and pass. Okay. Good job. Okay. Draw for turn. Pass. Oh. Play Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom. And pass. GG. Yeah, I was gonna draw nothing. Have a good one. probably watch a video of him play. See if I can pills.
Hello everyone, welcome back to today's episode 72 of the Podcana podcast. It is just myself and Moyen for today's episode since Brendan is in, I imagine, an apartment with a lot of boxes and no internet. That's kind of what he told us. So Brendan's not going to be available this week, probably not next week as well, but we'll give you guys an update when he returns, of course. So the headlines for this week's episode, as you guys have been seeing throughout the week, I've been posting videos of the set championship, the influencer event in London that myself and Moyen attended last weekend. I did manage to come out on top. I was in the bin during Birmingham, and I was redeemed, and I jumped back up to the top for this event, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So we'll just kind of discuss our thoughts on the event. I'll discuss my deck that I played, obviously, because we were highlighting it throughout the week, and we'll also catch up on the Spilled Ink section that we missed from last week's episode. But yeah, just a quick introduction or rundown of how the event went. Moyen, what was your experience? Was this your first time in London, actually, or have you been to London before?
I've never been.
Awesome.
The only sightseeing I did was like in the Uber. I kind of saw the London Eye from the side.
Nice.
But yeah, I enjoyed my time a lot. I'm grateful I got invited. The tournament itself, I went 3-2. the 2 losses were a little bit more on the unfortunate side of things, but 3-2 is still all right, and I just had a great time. I've been playing some, because we all got some goodie bags. I've been playing some Villainous since, and that's been a lot of fun as well. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful.
Yeah, the event was super, super fun. Actually, speaking about Villainous, so they gave us, like, when said, this goodie bag full of, like, board games and playmats and stuff like that. And myself and Kim were like, how are we going to get this home? Like, we do not have space because I brought all of my recording gear. So I was like, you know what, Kim, let's play it cool. So I just walked through security with these 2 massive bags so that no one says anything. I'd come through, nothing said at all, so it was pretty clean, and it was really nice because it was the Villainous with the Prince John promo card, right, which is like the exclusive promo. But yeah, like, if you guys actually haven't played Villainous and you get a chance to play it, it's quite a fun game. Like, I was saying to someone before that I discovered Diablo. There's a Diablo card in Villainous that I saw, like, before Diablo came out in Lorcana, and it was so funny to me that when Diablo released, I was like, oh, he's broken in Lorcana, but he was also pretty good in Villainous as well. Yeah.
Apparently, the Prince John was already revamped in his balancing. I played against my girlfriend; she crushed me.
Yeah.
And but maybe Prince John's still pretty good.
Yeah, Prince John, again, another card broken in Villainous, broken in Lorcana. It's the reason why it was in my deck. But yeah, it was really, really good. There was 30 players in total. There was supposed to be 32, but 2 players couldn't make it, unfortunately, due to cancellations and sickness. But yeah, as you guys know, I played Amber Emerald, the exact same deck that I ran in Birmingham. 60 cards, of course. Never over 60 cards in the deck like this, especially, but should never be over 60 cards in a deck, in my opinion. Anyways, but yeah, it worked out pretty well. I have to say though, my matchups throughout the event were not easy at all. I don't think I had one like favorable matchup. Maybe one. I think I played an Amethyst Steel, which I should kind of crush if I get to my Under the Sea easily enough, because there's no song removal from them. They're a little bit aggressive, so it can be a little bit difficult. But like I played against some really, really tough decks. I played against Emerald Amethyst a couple of times, which I think that matchup I actually think is slightly favored into Emerald Amethyst, especially if they run 3-drop kick Cloud Kicker, because it can really just out-tempo you. You'll play like a Diablo. Even if you like shift a Diablo, that's good to start off, but then you play an Aerial, they'll bounce it. You play Diablo, they'll bounce it. So against the kit strategy, you really just have to hope for like the Prince John and the Muses line. Muses absolutely crushes Lyle though. Muses was so good against Lyle, and even if Lyle targets Diablo or Aerial, gives it reckless, it's just most of the time you can just sing a song with it anyway, so that wasn't like too much of an issue. But the games were definitely a grind. Like I sat down at the event, I was like, this is going to be a nice event. There's a creator event, it's going to be nice, and it was like an absolute sweat fest for me. I don't know about you, Moy, but it was some people came to win. Some people came to win.
Quite sweaty. It's I know, I think it's easy to look at these events and think like, oh, it's just content creators, but I guess at least 90% of the players that were there were like much better than your average set champs competitor.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, definitely the games definitely weren't easy. I think my highlight was from my top 8 match where the game went to time. Even in top 8, it went to time, and then it basically how when you're in top 8, how do you decide the winner after the 5 turns are over if no one's reached 20 lore? Well, it's basically the person who ends with the most lore, right? So I had a crazy like turn where I had to like really calculate, okay, if I do like a key to Under the Sea and still quest with like my Cricky and other stuff, I get to like 15 against 14. But if they top deck a Zeus and kill my Cricky, then I lose because I can't quest up or whatever. It was absolutely wild, but that was one of my highlights. But yeah, like I said, I was against a lot of Emerald Amethyst and then also Amber Steel, which is still not an easy matchup by any means, but I managed to pull through and managed to win the event. And yeah, if you guys can check out the games, obviously just have a look at the channel and you can see all the highlights there.
Yeah, also because recently we've had lots of discussion again about the format that we're using with best of 2, best of 3, and I do think the best of 3 was, I mean, with all the upset that it has, I think especially in your games, the potential issue of time was highlighted very well, where I think you and your opponents were playing in good faith, but I think either player could have easily tried to use time to their advantage.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And to an extent, that's within the rules. So that's the part that I think is most problematic about best of three.
Mm.
But we don't have to go into the entire argument again.
For sure, yeah. But I do think it was interesting because I remember speaking to you about this for like the best of three thing, at least when, you know, when a game goes to time. There were no timers in this room, which I think there didn't need to be timers. Like, it wasn't a super uber competitive event. Although I did have some of my opponents saying, oh, if there was a timer, I would have, like, you know, made sure that when it was time, I was on, you know, I wasn't on turn 0, because if you're on turn 0, it basically means nothing, because you only get turn 2, turn 4 to actually play the game. Whereas if you get the turn 1, you'll get turn 1, turn 3, and turn 5 to potentially quest to, like, finish the game,
Yeah,
you know?
want to have, like, the last turn of the game yourself.
Yeah, so, like, I found that interesting. And I was also asking you, but, like, yeah, technically, like, it's not really against the rules that if you had that information to see the timer, just wait a little bit, like, to, you know, maybe quest with this and take your time, and then to kind of take advantage. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just to an extent, there's, like, this frame in which you're doing your reasonable time frame in which you can do your reasonable turn, and just depending on the time situation, of course, you can maybe take a little bit longer, a little bit less time. And that we've had also very experienced TCG players also from Magic and other card games, and I'm sure they were very aware of all these things that you can do in these very seasoned formats as well.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, before we dive deeper into the tournament, I'm going to jump over to the Spilled Ink section. This is the listener question section. If you guys want your question read out on next week's episode of the podcast, be sure to pop a comment down below. The first one is from Dr. Rizzy, or DRWZY. They say, rip the Moistache 2024 to 2024. It's really making a comeback right now. I think if the audience liked it, it stays.
If I shave off the rest, maybe we can pull it off again soon.
Yeah, yeah.
I do for a YouTube comment in our section, this was like very much like this comment.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't know, I was looking at the analytics when you had the Moistache, the numbers were higher. Let me just tell you that. Yeah, for sure. The next comment is from Dragon. It says, thanks guys for the podcast. When it came down to the deck I played, I listened to y'all's opinions, and then I made top 8 at Vegas. Wow, I remember in when I was in Toronto as well, there was someone that came up to me that was like, yeah, I think they got top 16 or got top 8, and they were like, yeah, I really appreciate everything you guys do on the podcast. It gave me like a lot of advice and stuff, and that really kind of like, that really blows me away. It's always nice to receive like support, but when you hear about a player who's actually performed like so well in a major tournament and they're listening to our advice and stuff like that, it is really nice to hear that.
That's really good. At the end of the day, I always feel like, I don't know, I don't want to have the impact that we have on your guys' performance overblown, because at the end of the day, it's full credit to the player.
Of course.
This.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm happy that people that are listening to the podcast are having success.
Yeah, that we could have helped in any way at all, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? That's like super cool. Next comment is from Robert. They say, I'm on 4 castle, no library in Ruby Amethyst. I'm on all 1/3/1 drops, so Olaf, Minnie Mouse, stuff like that. The Amber Seal match is greatly improved without losing too much from the other matches. I think the more I've played against Ruby Amethyst, the more I like this change in general. Like, I also just like feel like castle is still so much more stronger than library in general. Like, I feel like if library comes down, even if I don't get to deal with it too fast, like, they still need to have the characters to kind of occupy it and then those characters to die. So if they don't specifically have the 1-drops to pair along with the library doesn't feel like as much as a threat, besides when a castle...
In those decks, they play 8 of these 1-drops. I think in one episode we also talked about this. Like, there's the split in Ruby Amethyst versions. Either they play Brooms, Turner Box, and a few libraries on top of the castles. Or instead of the Brooms, they play 1/3s, and then they don't play the library. And this is a valid version that will be great. That will definitely significantly improve the MSD matchup. I would think, though, that it does significantly hurt some other matchups where you're less likely to keep your engine going, to keep continuously being able to use all your resources in the mirror against red-blue, where these things, even if they don't end the game as quickly as the castle, they are very, very inefficient to deal with. So the only sometimes, for example, as Red Blue, the only way to deal with like library and some mediocre threats in them is not actually to deal with them, but you have to play your own threat, because any removal that you could play kind of gets rid of one or the other. It doesn't even do that super well in comparison to what they spent on it. So it can definitely, in the right hands, create some very, very awkward situations for your opponents. But yeah, so I think this is mostly a meta call on how much Ember Steel versus other decks do you really expect.
I do think I still personally prefer the line of like if you want like the strongest opening in my opinion, because if you're doing the library on 3 with your 1-drops, like sure you're going to be drawing a lot of cards and stuff, but like you said, I just think if you get to establish that Flynn, Sisu, and Castle.
No, it's even in the Flynn Sisu line, Castle is not most often not your best 4-drop. You would just want like the best opening in most matchups would just be Flynn, Sisu, Rabbit.
Yeah, but still, if you're doing Flynn Sisu over like library on 3, is what I'm saying. You know, like I think establishing even alone the Flynn Sisu over the library opener, I think is like Flynn Sisu is way better in my opinion.
I don't think library is a 3-drop. Of course you can play it on 3, but I don't think that's where it's at its best. It's more like turn 7, turn 8, where you play it alongside other things, or immediately can move some things and use it, where it's much better. I don't think you want, because also playing locations inherently is a tempo loss, because it can get challenged, but it cannot challenge anything, and you don't. So it's locations are never really about getting them down as early as possible usually. So but I think mid game, late game is really where it would shine. It's not like you keep Castle to play it turn 4 in blind. You would never do it in most matchups. You would never do it. Castle likewise is just a card that's great at getting value out of like a somewhat equal or advantageous board state for you.
Yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. Next comment is from Eli. Damn, Kim getting a stream featured before you guys. Congrats to her. That was an entertaining game. Yeah, Kim has kind of been a little bit blown away by. There's been a lot of people that have just messaged her and stuff like that, and like be like, oh yeah, like saw you on stream and stuff like that. She was a little bit overwhelmed, but obviously like she was really happy. I think if I started my day off with a 2-0 on stream, I'd just be absolutely buzzing. And I think I don't know, like obviously she played well outside of that factor, but in my opinion, I do feel like that was maybe like definitely a big confidence boost to some degree, because my worry was like, okay, it's like the 2-0 on stream, and then it's just like the tie, you know what I mean? And it was looking like that for a little bit. I think after she got her 2-0, she had like 3 ties in a row or something like that. And I'm like, it's fine. Like you're still doing good. Like you can start getting the wins. And then she kind of got back-to-back win, and she really kind of got her confidence up. So yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, go ahead.
Just the round 1 streamed match, I think it can have huge impact on your tournament, because the other way around, maybe you do a mistake and you're like embarrassed you did a mistake on stream, you lose the match, and then that can really set the tone for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah. Actually, Kim told me though. I remember Kim told me more, and she was like, "You know what? I'll go on stream because even if I mess up," she was like, "the bad luck is out of the way." I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm glad you have that mindset, because I'd be like, "Oh no, everyone on the podcast next week." Yeah, for sure. But no, like it's really nice to see just like how much she's constantly improving the more she plays the game, and also seeing like a belief in a player really come out. Like I don't know, like I've felt like a lack of confidence when I play certain decks, or I mean, I'm not gonna lie, after my performance in Birmingham, like everyone feels a little bit rough if you don't play too good, but it was my time for this tournament last weekend, and that really brought me back up. So as long as you can manage the times when you're down and just pick yourself up and keep going, like you'll get there eventually, you know what I mean? So that's just like a good mindset to have for sure. Next comment is from Darth. I've been playing Emerald Amethyst since the end of set 3. I would totally agree with your assessments of You're Welcome. I think that y'all may be underestimating how favored Emerald Amethyst is into Ruby Sapphire, especially with inclusions of Mother Gothel, Banzai, and Emerald Chromicon. What do you guys think about 3-drop Anna? I think she's too slow to be worth the unequal slot, and she never feels that good on rate. I know you've experimented with a lot of versions of Emerald Amethyst, Moyen, but I played against like quite a few different versions, even in the set champs. The ones that had like a version that had like You're Welcome and Yzma's in it, which funnily enough, actually, the game plan slowly started to turn towards, oh my god, maybe my opponent can mill me with your Welcome and Yzma, which I don't think that's ever a reason why you should specifically include those cards in the decks. Like, oh, maybe suddenly I become the mill strategy. But like these, I think Banzai is kind of like the staple in Emerald Amethyst right now, and I can really see the reason to include it. It does really suffer against the Amber Steel matchups, but I think in every matchup besides Amber Steel, against any matchup besides Steel, it is just incredibly good. Even against my deck, like I have to either key to Under the Sea or do a Painting the Roses, Muses. It's a really, really sticky card for me to get through. The cards I'm like a little bit less sure of is like I've seen the one of Mother Gothels, which can be okay. The big ones I'm talking about for the Mother Gothel, like the 6 cost. And the Chromicons, I don't know, like I haven't had too much experience like playing against these Chromicon players. So like what are your thoughts on these cards in general that have been mentioned here within the Emerald Amethyst deck?
Yeah, I think Banzai is very much a staple. Usually, um, the and Mother Gothel it's fine, but nothing I'm afraid of. Usually the card I look at first to determine how good the red blue matchup into Emerald Amethyst is, like how many Merfolk do they play. Those can be very efficient at posing threats. I don't have an infinite amount of experience against the Emerald Chromicon, so but I can totally see how that can buy you lots of time in the later stages of the game, and can be maybe a pain to deal with. But I think in general I don't. Okay, I mean, okay, that's not what you're saying. You're not saying I'm saying that red blue would be greatly favored. You're saying actually Emerald Amethyst would be the deck that's favored, and I don't quite agree with that. I think it's at least even for red blue. I would say it's very slightly favored. But these with the green purple lists being a little bit up in the air on some of their inclusions, maybe with against some certain lists it would be only 50, or like maybe it would even be slightly unfavored. But I think against like the stock lists, I do feel like that is a matchup I'm happy to go into.
I think that's a very fair assessment. Yeah, I think the context drastically changes with how many Merfolk and how many more of these aggressive cards are in the list, because that would make you feel like a little bit less. You know, if they start off with Merfolk, you're like, okay, maybe I might be losing this game. You know, yeah.
Yes, and also I've had another comment where, I in red blue discussions people are like, oh, but if you don't play the human Sisu and you play boards instead, doesn't that make the green purple matchup too bad? And I don't think it does. Like the shift line's nice, especially because they can't really interact with it super well except Lyle, and if they Lyle, you can just like sing a song to protect the human Sisu. But I think at the end of the day, it just makes the deck overall better. And even if it like would very slightly make that matchup worse, I think I'm totally fine with that. The question about Anna, I think she's like a one-off at most, because how if you draw multiple of those, that's quite bad. But one of them can provide quite some flexibilities. It's not that any of her play modes are like incredible. It's a 5-cost 2/3 quest for 2, discard a card, or the +2 strength. None of that's really, or like the execute type effect. None of that's crazy. But having access to either of these effects at times can be quite good, and the uninkability can, of course it matters, but you can sometimes just get around it by saying, okay, instead of playing my crab on 3, I just ink my crab and play a 2/3 that quests for 2 if you just didn't need the crab effect anyways. So sometimes just like playing her as a 3-drop instead of this 5-drop also increases the flexibility of her. But even considering all these things, I think I would always play either 0 Annas or one Anna, because at the end of the day, she is still only good under like very certain conditions.
Yeah, I really agree with that. And I had a lot of people trying to convince me to try out this card even in my deck in Amber Emerald as a one-of, and I can see it being okay as a one-of. You know, once it's on the board, you can bounce it back with Muses, you can kind of reuse that discard effect from the card. But I mean, the Amber Emerald deck already doesn't have that many uninkables. I think it has like 11. It's the 4 Diablo, 4 John, and the 3 Under the Sea. And I'm like, it's not that adding more uninkables would be bad, but I just think anytime, specifically in that deck, where you do miss on the ink ability, it really, really suffers. Like, you want to consistently be getting as much ink as possible to eventually possibly do, like, you know, the just a hard cast turn 8 under the sea, or just you need to get to at least 5, because like 5 is such a key ink number to be at to do like Bruno's and other stuff as well. So I mean, when I say that, I'll be honest, I still haven't tested the Anna enough, but like just by looking at the card itself, I just don't think it does what my deck particularly wants to do, because even just playing it as a three cost 2/3 that quests for 2, like this aggressive body, that's really not doing anything. I think in my deck you want to be using the discard effect, or you want to be using that additional, you know, destroy a damaged creature effect. So yeah, I think it's a fine card. Maybe it will have some more kind of usage. And also, like, I think in both of these decks, in the Emerald Amethyst deck and the Amber Emerald one, like the 3-drop slot is often quite contested, in my opinion, with some really, really good cards. You know, you're putting another 3-drop uninkable in where maybe you already have a couple of Lyles and stuff like that. So you just need to kind of keep that in mind, I think. But it's definitely worth, you know, testing the card out and seeing how it plays. The next comment is from Hector Harris. They say, at 44 minutes, you guys mentioned the person from the States that went to the UK instead of Vegas, and that was me. True story all the way. Love meeting Moy, and see you guys at Seattle. Yeah, I actually, did you get to talk to this guy in the end, Moyen?
Yeah. No. Actually, we met up before the tournament even started.
Oh.
Then he got down paired to have to play against me. And then I threw out them, but because they were down paired, they were still like very much in contention. And I think we were both very, very close to making it, but both didn't quite make top cut. Yeah, so it was definitely great to meet them.
For sure, yeah. Next comment is from Lorcana Crafts. You guys are the best Lorcana commentary online, and all very, very likable personalities. This comment made me laugh a lot. They say, I think it could be a great experiment for your brands to go on a tour through parts of NA or EU to play with locals. I know it would be expensive and you all have jobs, but what do you think? I mean, listen, if there was a world where we could do this and we had like, I don't know, infinite money that we could just go and play with loads of, oh my god, it sounds so hilarious to me, fucking Podcana on tour, like we're a band or something like that. Oh my god.
But usually with tours we'd have to like sell tickets, so we'd need to have enough fans that they buy tickets to play with us,
to play against us. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know if we will ever be there. I think if we ever go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just for the last question from Hector, because he's also an Emerald gamer.
Oh really? Oh cool.
Yeah, so that was a very, very interesting matchup that I think there's lots of things to improve that matchup if you play it correctly from both sides. In this case, though, game 1, he just Prince Johned me and then Prince John Sunshine, I think, on turn 3, and then didn't discard a card for the rest of the game until I played Sisu, and I didn't even ramp, so I just played turn 8 Sisu.
Oh, so you knew how to play around it, right? Like that's the.
I mean, you just didn't know.
Oh, you just didn't draw a discard.
Oh,
right, you didn't get the. Oh no, that's even worse. Oh man.
Yeah. And then the other one, I did often play around it, but in the end he still. Sometimes I drew cards that I couldn't use up immediately because they were so important. So like the big Sisu, and he discarded a lot of them, but then I just drew the third big Sisu, and that was a game where I was on the play, so that wasn't really his game to take. But the one where Hector was going first was quite hilarious. How it's possible to not draw like any more discards.
Mate, I know that feeling for sure. I've talked about it with this deck so much. It's like getting the Prince John is key, obviously, to establish the card draw engine, but then if you don't see any of your discard stuff, it really sucks. Or like I've done stuff where I played an Aerial on turn 3 and the 4 cards I've seen have been like 3 You Forgotten Me's and a Prince John all to the bottom. I'm just like, come on, like what is this? So
there was also the funny dynamic between the bare necessities and him kind of knowing my hand, and then me quilling cards away, and we're just in this mind game where we're talking through. Did I actually get rid of all the bare necessity targets? Did I keep one? Because you know he might think I got rid of it anyways. In the end, he inked their bare necessities, and I did get rid of all my bare necessities targets. So he made the correct call there.
It's pretty funny for sure. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I would love if we ever got to that stage to go. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't even know if we. It's such
I
a
don't know if it's possible
it's such a
to go
hilarious
on tour
idea.
for
Oh my
Arcana.
god, yeah, yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe
if you're paying out of our pocket and no one's paying for us to be there, then it's possible.
you
But
know
that's
what?
just quite
I will
expensive.
say this: if anyone, if anyone is absolutely crazy enough to want to make this happen, give us a DM and we will definitely consider it. But yeah, that still means a lot to us that you
Yeah.
believe in us enough that you would want to see something like that.
Also, I'm flattered by the you all have jobs because that is
Yeah,
not
because you
true.
do not. Well, I don't know. Moyen coaches a lot of people, and that's no
Sure.
easy. That's no easy. You know, Moyen's not sitting at home every day with his feet up. Let's just say that Moyen's got stuff he's doing. So yeah. Next comment is from Pasky Raps. If you guys did a 2-hour podcast, I'd still listen. Just saying. I mean, there's times where we often just keep talking and don't look at the timer. So sometimes that may happen for sure.
No,
But
I think it happened for sure.
I
I
think
don't
it was
know.
the
Did we
episode with
reach two
Frank, was
hours?
it? Well, there was definitely one episode where it
Yeah,
got very close to 2 hours.
like 1 hour 50. I think we had a couple of those. I
Mm,
think we even have maybe at least 1 2 hour episode in
yeah.
there.
And then you've got episodes like last week where we say, guys, we're not feeling good. This is going to be 20 minutes. And so it just keeps going and going. So, yeah. Next one's from Dr. Noggin. Uh, so,
That's my favorite comment.
this is Moyen's favorite comment. I remember picking this one out as well. Yeah. So they say Moyen would have made top 64 if he would have won more games. I understand his frustration, but you have to take ownership in your shortcomings first before blaming it on collusion. Moyen, what are your thoughts on this comment?
Yeah, they couldn't be more correct. My bad for even talking about it.
Yep.
No. Okay. So this comment kind of pissed me off because it's not the first time I talk about this issue. I talk about it like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People are kind of like sick of hearing me talk about it because I'm quite passionate about the problem. And I do my best to report things when I see them. I do my best to educate the people that don't know about all of these issues. Um, and I don't think, while all of this is true, if I won more games, I do make top cut. And I think it's very important to focus on what I could have changed. All of that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I think to tell me I can't talk about the collusion just because if I won more I would get there anyways is kind of outrageous. It's like telling an athlete that came second when the first guy was under doping.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
it's like a cyclist. Just cycle quicker. Just one faster. It's if you would have won faster, you could have beaten the guy that pumped up everything down his blood, and I don't understand that. And so if you've played these top tables, I'm sure you have seen some things that were very against the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you should report those, but that's a different story. But I'm sure of that. There was lots of DQs that happened for playing game threes or rolling dice to determine who gets the 2-0 on the win and in tables. And with how many there were, and with how when I look at the judges, I know they cannot see everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. But I think it's very reasonable to assume that there was some things that were likely missed. And in the end, I won 13 out of 18 games, which, and I've said before, to be like 100% safe, you kind of need 14 games. With 13, with the way, because I got all those extra points with like 6 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses, I would have been safe on how many tournaments did we have already? 9 of 7 out of 9 tournaments.
Mm.
This was
He's just kind of rambling. I don't know.
Level 10. Zach, welcome aboard. Where is he? He's gonna be late to work on his first day. Are you You're not Zach. Anyone seen Zach out here? He's probably passed out behind one of the dumpsters. Oh, Zach! Good to see ya! Don't just walk by your boss like that. What the fuck? Give me a fist bump. Alright, Zach. Let's start stocking these shelves, man. What do you do? Is he possessed? What are you doing? He bought some of the plushies. Told you, I know my customers. I knew they'd love it. Maybe just at level 12 I saved for that to get some
What is
bigger
this
pulls.
mod?
Oh, Zach's not here. Ah, buying deodorant, eh? Didn't feel like stopping by Walgreens? Don't worry, we have all your needs. Oh, fuck. Zach, you can't let customers be stinky. He's checking out, though, so whatever. Oh, wait, no, he's checking out. He's basically in purgatory with Zach. I should have sprayed him. I forgot how slow Zach is.
Yeah. I just go to bed. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go to bed.